The final episode of season 1 was titled Happy Endings, and here my co-host and I talked about the importance of adding a full stop and closing the chapter of traumatic or monumental moments in our life. So I'm here in the centre of London to talk to 3 men and 3 women to see how they had their happy ending. I'm Francisco Gomez and you're watching the Progressing Male Street Styles.
Yeah, I do think I need a happy ending or a full stop. I broke up with my ex like ages ago. I kind of just blocked him. But I still feel kind of like bad because I kind of did it out of nowhere. And although it was me who did it, it was like, oh, now I feel bad and like, I don't know where we stand, I don't know how he feels about it, if he's like moved on, if he hasn't moved on.
Right.
So yeah, I guess I would ideally like a full stop or a happy ending, but sometimes, I don't know, it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
So I think closure is important when a situation's traumatic.
Okay.
Like, if you've been attached to a certain person for such a long time, I think it's important. But then again, at times, it's also fun just to live your life, not even think about it. If you can't, like, stop thinking about it, obviously try and get it, but otherwise, ignore it.
So yours is circumstantial?
Circumstantial, yes.
Okay, and what about yourself?
Well, I kind of agree with her. I think it like depends on the person, because some people are like easygoing and prefer to just forget about everything, and some just prefer to like get as much closure as they can to like seal off that chapter in their life, so they can just move on and just get on with their life.
And what do you think about men in general? Do you think that we are good at closing chapters, or is it the woman that kind of has to present that to the man?
I mean, it depends on the guy. I'm not going to stereotype that much.
Okay.
But from my experience, I don't have the best typing guys.
Okay.
But, the ones that were decent, I think they didn't really reach out for closure, and if they did, it was very much so like a booty call.
Ah, okay.
I didn't go for that booty call just
No, listen, no judgment here, girl. And what about yourself?
Again, I think it depends on the guy.
Yeah.
Some prefer closure, and then some just want to like keep that chapter staying in their life as long as possible,
right,
for like entertainment or whatever reason. But yeah, it just depends on the guy.
When I think of a perception of like a happy ending, I'm thinking about, of course, I want to get to my happy ending, but if we had to pause another story to get to that happy ending, then I would say if I was ending it in a relationship, I want there to be closure on why didn't this work out, how could I have done better, and what, on my perspective, how could I have improved to be better in my next relationship?
Yes.
And then therefore I would say the same thing to them as well. So if he was telling me, I need you to communicate better, I need you to be more affectionate, these are my love languages, can you please do this? And maybe in the next relationship ask them like, oh, how do you feel loved? How do you want me to communicate with you?
Amazing.
Those kinds of things. And just because my relationship with this other person didn't work out, that doesn't mean my happy ending's not there.
Right.
It just means that
that chapter's closed.
That chapter is closed.
That's so weird, because I think exactly the same for me. When a relationship or a situationship, whatever you want to call it, ends, for me, I just want to know what could be done better, because I don't want to repeat that with someone else.
Correct. And that's why I'm looking for that answer from them, because they were with you.
Right.
So they're going to tell you like, you need to do X, Y, Z, and that's not wrong. That just means I'm human and I'm trying to learn here.
That's an incredible way to explain a happy ending. Thank you. And what about yourself?
When I think of happy endings, I don't think there is an ending. I think I'm a romantic, so I love love. And I think when you're with the person, there is no end. Like, you love them forever, and whatever brings, in the afterlife and what you believe in, I think it continues on.
Oh, I like that. There's one continuous beautiful cycle.
Yes, beautiful love.
I mean, closure is convenient, but it's not necessary.
Unnecessary,
It's not necessary.
Okay.
Yeah.
How so?
I mean, you can't really force closure on anyone, right?
Okay.
Or like things or situations or like life in general.
Okay.
So it's convenient if you have like a resolve.
Yes.
But if it's not there, you should learn how to roll with the punches, you know what I mean?
I see.
Yeah.
So you kind of deal with it, your closure is within yourself, you don't need it from someone else.
I mean, yeah, that's life, bro. Like philosophy, it's like you don't have an answer. You don't know if the world has come to be or where the world is going. So you take it day by day. You know
Okay, I appreciate that, thank you. What about yourself?
Okay, I low-key think the same way. I think that closure is important in some way, but you have to learn how to not depend on that closure. So you have to learn how to move on. Life is difficult. So yeah, it's important in some way. Like it's important to finish something and then move on.
Yeah.
But you also have to learn that life is not about right or wrong. It's like a scale of grace.
Nice.
So yeah, that's a nice one. Eh?
Hey.
And yeah, that's what I think more or less.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, boys. Thank you. Appreciate you. Have a nice day.
You too.